COTS is a great deal more than a homeless shelter. COTS serves on average about 2,600 people annually, everyone from birth to 85 or older. This year we had an 87-year-old in shelter, and we also had a pregnant mom give birth at the hospital while she was in shelter. So a lot of people think of that quintessential homeless person that we might all recognize, who's sleeping in a doorway, who's struggling with a substance abuse issue, or who is staying in a tent. But actually that only represents a small amount of the people we serve. Carmen talked about United Way's great efforts to diminish homelessness in our area, and that reduction was more in our what we call our chronic homeless, those people who've been homeless over a long period of time or repeatedly. But the bulk of the people we serve are actually people who are first-time homeless families, families with children. But at COTS we provide shelter services and housing for people who are homeless or marginally housed, and we advocate for long-term solutions to end homelessness. And our hope is to work ourselves out of a job or to drastically change the programs and services we provide. And we'll talk a little bit about that solution, and Adam will be a terrific real-life example of that. And these are our core values. We believe in the value and dignity of every human life, that housing is a fundamental right, and that emergency shelter is not the solution to homelessness. And you might know us for our emergency shelters. And our day station is our daytime shelter. This is where people can have a refuge from the streets. They can come in out of the cold or the heat. They can grab a nutritious noontime meal, and then they can access services. So for a lot of people who are that stereotypical homeless person, this is how they enter our program. So they start to get to know us through the day station, through breaking bread and having lunch with a community of people, and then they enter into services, and we refer them out to other organizations like Howard Mental Health and a variety of other service providers that we partner with. And it's a diverse community. I always want to point out this picture here. This is a picture of COTS day station guests playing spades in January of this year. And obviously you can tell from the picture there's a lot of diversity in terms of cultural and ethnic. But diversity more in the sense of people come from all walks of life. And as I mentioned, we serve 0 to 85 plus in terms of age range. But a lot of people who come to us are still working. They're trying to hold down a job, and they're trying to do it while they're homeless. A lot of the people that come to us have a higher level of education, degrees. Again, not that stereotypical homeless person. So it's a very diverse community. And this is just another shot. This is actually an old shot of our day station from several years ago. Our location that this picture shows was flooded in 2012 in a giant rainstorm on July 4th that hit downtown Burlington. We've actually been without a home. Our day station has been homeless for 4 years. Soon to find a home at 95 North Avenue. If you've been down on the avenue where it intersects with North Street and North Ave, the old Burlington College, is soon to be our new home. And we are super excited. It will house the day station. It will bring everything, kind of bring everything home, if you will. It will bring our case management for individuals and families, as well as provide a new space for our administrative building, our housing resource center, but most importantly, it will provide 14 new units of affordable housing, permanently affordable housing, as the result of a capstone gift from a very generous donor. So that housing will remain permanently affordable in perpetuity. This is just a shot of our way station, again, our emergency shelter for adults 18 years of age and older. There are 28 beds for men, 8 beds for women. A lot of people think, oh, you only have 8 beds for women because women aren't homeless in as great a numbers as men. It's not necessarily true. Women often, though, have stronger networks, social, and they will connect with friends and family, and they'll couch surf or stay in someone's basement. But we consider that person to be homeless because they don't know when that arrangement might end. It could be an hour, it could be 10 days from now. And this is, again, a shot of our way station. Downstairs, this is our community space here. This is our TV room. You'll see that the washer and dryer, big presence. That's a big important part of what we do. Actually, at the way station, providing people just the comforts of home, washing their clothing, their personal items. It also helps us with our health and safety protocols, particularly bed bug, because that's a big problem in the shelters. This is our Main Street Family Shelter. This is one of 2. We can house up to 15 families at a time at our family shelters. This particular shelter is on Main Street in Burlington. It's the old YWCA, for you, those of you who've been around for quite some time. It's a gorgeous building. The doorknob you saw at the beginning of the picture is actually a series of photos from the doorknobs in this building. But families can stay for up to 6 months. The shelter is open 365 days a year, 24/7. So that's a little different than the way station. So the way station, which is for adults, is only open from 6:15 at night until 8 a.m. in the morning. So during the day, those individuals have to find a refuge, which is why we have the day station. But obviously, families, we can't require that of them, particularly when we have families with young children. So this is our Main Street shelter. Families stay in one giant room that usually has a series of 2 or 3 bunk beds set up, and then they have access to communal spaces, such as a kitchen that can serve at least 20 people at a time, a family room, a playroom, a television room. And then we have another location. So actually, here's the interior of Main Street, the old YWCA. This is our television room, and then this is our children's play area. We'll talk a little bit more about the importance of this space. This is our Firehouse family shelter in North Champlain. This was our first family shelter that we opened in 1988. We actually had our first family come to COTS in 1985. We didn't know what to do with the family, actually. We kept them, sadly enough, we offered them space in the basement of the way station, which was a dirt floor at the time, because we didn't expect families to come to us. This was a new phenomenon, and sadly, it is no longer a phenomenon. Families are the fastest growing segment of the homeless population, not only in Vermont, but nationwide. The U.S. Department of Education estimates, based on numbers of actual children enrolled in school, that 1 in every 30 children is homeless. So you know probably, or your children, or your friends or family knows a child who is currently homeless at this time. Right now in Chittenden County, we have about, it's a hard number to get at, you know, like all homeless statistics are, but we think we've got about 400 children in Chittenden County alone who are currently homeless. We also do housing. So I mentioned our 95 North Ave, 14 units of permanently affordable housing. We've been doing housing for quite some time, recognizing that that's a need in the community. One of the housing programs, which is one of our newest additions, it's a partnership that we created in 2011 with Housing Vermont, which is a nonprofit tax credit syndication group we are partnering with at 95 North. We created Canal Street, and it's a program to house veterans. What's really unique about this program is it provides veterans up to 2 years time to transition. So they really get a chance to understand what their situation is and figure out what are the best strategies for them, what's most important for them to move forward towards self-sufficiency. But more important, this program is one of only 3 in the U.S. that allows veterans to stay with their families. Other veteran homeless programs will ask the veteran to separate from their family, which is unbelievable. And at COTS, we feel that a path forward is a path together. So we're really, really excited that just recently the VA came and did their annual assessment of our program. 100% of our veterans graduated to permanent housing. Of those that graduated to permanent housing, 95% reached their employment or financial goals, and then 83% of those people secured permanent employment or had higher education opportunities available to them that they took advantage of. So we're really excited about that. This is Smith House. This is a transitional housing program that we have on North Winooski Avenue. Again, kind of a step up, if you will, from emergency shelter. This is the Wilson. This is underneath the Wilson on Lower Church Street here in Burlington is our emergency shelter, the way station, what you probably know COTS mostly for. But these are permanently affordable units for people. We call them single room occupancy. So that basically means that a person has a room that they're renting, and then they're sharing spaces like bathroom, kitchens, what have you. But it fills an important need for people in the community, particularly those on limited incomes. And this is another housing unit that COTS owns on Elmwood Ave, St. John's Hall. And then our homeless prevention. So this is actually the bulk of what COTS does. So we talked about those 2,600 people we serve every year. About 1,200 of those people are served right here through the Housing Resource Center. So this program was created in 2008 to keep people from ever becoming homeless, ever having to suffer the devastating impact financially, emotionally, that homelessness has. And we do that through a variety of ways. We loan people money through guarantee programs. We have risk funds. We work with area landlords to bring those people into the area, and COTS basically acts as that security for that family to provide them an opportunity. We do short-term rental subsidies. We do one-time payments if people are struggling with a mortgage arrearage, so they're about to face foreclosure. So we do a lot of different things, and Adam's going to talk about that. And then just briefly, our support program. So while people are in shelter, we see it as an opportunity, particularly for our families and those young children, to enrich their lives, to provide as much intensive education to help them socially, emotionally, developmentally. So we do a lot of programs around literacy. We connect them with high-quality child care experiences within the community that will last beyond their time in shelter. If they have developmental delays, we connect them with services in the community. And we also provide opportunities for just plain old fun. So we bring those kids to shows at the Flynn. We provide opportunities for them to go to camp just like any other child. We want to give them a different perspective, because our feeling is this is prevention. Because children who experience homelessness are 5 times more likely to become homeless as an adult. So that trauma that they suffer often continues. So that person that you see in the doorway might have suffered homelessness as a child, and they've been in that cycle of trauma for some time. So this is prevention for us, because we want to show these kids a different perspective in a new way. So we spend a lot of time in shelter working with these little guys. We advocate for families to regain their independence. We have case managers that work with households to develop plans and set goals, again, always thinking about long-term success. And then how you can help. As we've talked about here, volunteerism, a big part of how COTS is able to be so successful and help so many people. United Way is a great partner in helping us identify volunteers to make that happen. And there are a variety of things you can do as a group. You can make a meal and serve it at our day station. You have 365 opportunities to do that. The meals all come from the community that donated. You can work with kids. You can read books to children in shelter. Every evening you can tutor a child. You could work with older kids if they have computer issues. If you want to provide some guidance there, that would be right up your alley. Or you could donate. So a lot of different things that we do. Our annual walk, 1,500 walkers in downtown Burlington. It's our biggest fundraiser. And then our phone-a-thon. Our phone-a-thon's coming up the end of November. If you want to join in, get on the phone, make some calls to people. And then our walk is on May 7th. Or you can create your own event. So